records what we say, it records what's on the screen, so any video clips that I show you, the whole lot will get captured, and I'll give you a DVD to go away with. The point being, you don't have to remember anything, you know, it'll all be there if you want to refer back to it afterwards. What I'll also do, which is probably new, that you've not had before, I guess, from Smooth guys, is now you get 28 days access to the Smooth app, which you may already have access to.
I'm on the Guru thing anyway, so.
Okay, all right. But what I will do is I'll send you through direct links to all the drills which I think are appropriate to you. You may not know them all, but
yeah.
So,
if we're going to have a program, you know, if I'm going to swim through a program, I might as well swim through the program with the exercises that you want me to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep. So you've been videoed before.
Yeah.
Let's start by saying what do you think is the main issues that are stopping you and holding you back a little bit in the water?
I had the video with Jason.
Yep.
He said that I was a recovery mode provider and that I was. Martin Brookhouse has done a really good job with stopping the crossover which I used to have, and improving scissor kick on the back.
Yeah.
But he said I was pushing down on the water at the start of the catch, and that I really need to get like over the Swiss ball sort of thing, and get a little bit of angle in here. Morgan said that I need to get some more angle in here, and that I needed to come in a bit shorter, that I was probably trying to reach for too much, and that I should come in a little bit to try and get in a bit more vertically and then push back. Yeah. So those are the things, faults that I did have.
Okay. Yep. And are you better with a wetsuit on? Have you swum with a wetsuit on?
Or with a pool boy? I've only swum with a wetsuit on in Lanzarote, just for the 1 week. We'll do one session a day. But I seem with the wetsuit one session a day without. I seem to be quicker in relation to the other people in the squad when we all got wetsuits on.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know why that is?
I guess I'm sinking.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the things that you said to me. Absolutely. I agree with the vast majority of what you just said, which we'll go through in a bit more detail in a second. What I haven't seen myself on video, obviously, is your kind of body positioning in the water. From poolside, it's difficult to tell from poolside how deep you are in the water, but I sense that I suspect that you're quite low. Your legs are quite low in the water. As soon as you put a wetsuit on, that's going to lift you up. Most wetsuits these days are designed to be 5 mil on the legs, then around the torso, and then 3 mil on the upper body, so that you've got more buoyancy and get your legs up higher in the water. It doesn't flatten you out, which would make sense for you being quicker in comparison to other people, maybe. So let's roll it through. Certainly, I can see you breathing on both sides. You prefer the one side, don't you? Or you're quite happy on both?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. So it's good that you can breathe on both sides, because some people have a go. Some people can do it quite naturally. Some people have a go at it, but you can see normally that they're much happier on the one side. But if you're quite happy on both, you're onto a winner straight away with that. So that's really helpful. Okay, all right. Let's start to play this through. So the first thing we look at from the side position here, kind of normal coach's view, if you like, from the side of the pool, is the height of the recovery over the water. Depending on what type of swimmer you are, whether it be a swinger or a smooth, so either a straight arm recoverer or more of a high elbow recoverer, we're looking for the height of the elbow for the clearance of the water, over the top of the water here. All right. So you've got a nice high elbow at that point. The arm swings through. It's good if the arm swings through when the elbow is at the highest point. Some people are a little bit hand-led, so the hand swings around the front, but that's fine from there. So that recovery is nice. And what we can see here already, look, you mentioned overextending and overreaching. You can already see there that where your hand is headed. So you're going or extending right the way out in front of you, and then coming down. Quite flat. If anything, the upper arm is hitting the water before the hand.
Right.
Okay, so coming down quite flat. So just play that back through a little bit. And that's purely a case, as you've been told before, of you've got the height there, but if you speared in directly from that point, as you rotate through spearing rather than extending forward and then coming down. So you've got the positioning right, it's just the hand entry, which is good. It's a fairly easy fix. So we'll certainly spend some time on that today. So extending a little bit too far forward, and of course if you extend that far forward, the only place you've got to do, the only thing you can do is possibly press down. Yeah, which we'll have a look at that from the other side in a second. So on the right hand side, again a nice amount of clearance. And we can already see the angle of the hand is heading over here, look. It's not too bad. It's better than the other side, yeah. The fingertips are coming in there.
But it is better than this.
Yeah. So, nice high elbow.
Reaching too far with that left.
Reaching too far with the left hand. Not too bad with the right. What you are doing a little bit, which we'll have a look at today, is you're burying your head. So your head is completely submerged at that point, look. So that's going to force you to get your upper body down a little bit too low in the water. So we're going to probably just make some tweaks in terms of getting to look a little bit further forward. Just get that head up a little bit more. So the main thing we're seeing, I'm just waiting for you to breathe from this side actually, just to see how much of your head we're seeing when we breathe. Here we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah. So that there is telling me a couple of things actually. It's kind of giving me an indication that you might be holding your breath a little bit under the water, because that's kind of almost like a bit of a gasp mouth.
I wasn't blowing out, was I? Yeah.
And that might be because you're on film or something, and people react differently. But we'll do a little drip. Is that something that's come up before in terms of breath holding, or?
No, but it's one of the things that I do in my warm-up all the time. I actually write it on my warm-up. Something like 100 easy, breathe. Yeah. Get the blowing of the bubbles going right at the start. I've forgotten.
You forgot it. Yeah.
And I'll tell you the other thing I forgot. I normally have that on. Set a rate like 65 for tonight. I forgot to switch it on. So I forgot to switch it on. And I forgot to do the breathe. Yeah.
Well, it's good because you're swimming at about 62 then, and it's good that I see what you're naturally swimming at without thinking, because it's a bit artificial if you're swimming to the beat anyway. So it's good to see what you naturally swim like. So yeah, it looks like you've got a big mouth wide open.
One of my turns down that end, I can't remember whether it was in the warm up or the main thing. I really ran out there.
Right, yeah, okay. So I know you've probably seen these before, but I'll put it on there so we've got a good point of reference. What we're looking for in terms of the breathing is one goggle in the water, one goggle out.
Yep.
We have the nice bow wave that forms, and it makes a little trough for us to breathe into here. And that relies on, it's another reason why we shouldn't be burying our head too far in the water, because it will disturb any chance that that bow wave actually generating itself. All right, so a little bit of head position work, maybe. That might be just a one-off, just because you kind of weren't in the flow and weren't concentrating.
Last week I did the head position exercise in here.
Yep, okay.
And came to the conclusion that because it said that the more you bring your head down, the more your legs go up.
Yep.
So that's why my head's so low. Normally I'd be looking forwards. If you've got position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, I'd be in position 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
So that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Just go back to doing it the way I normally do.
And you can actually, what can happen is if you bury your head too much, you can actually, so what you say is quite right. So if you lift your head up too far, then your legs will drop. And you bring your head down, then your legs will come up. But if you keep on taking your head down, what happens is you kind of become banana shaped, and your legs actually start to drop back down again.
Yeah.
So there's an optimum point.
Fine.
So we need to keep an eye on that, especially. Right. So let's just take it underneath. Right. So we can see here. Body position generally is quite low, so your head is submerged, as I've said before, and then the legs aren't too bad at that point. Let's have a look at your legs at this point. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, some of that is happening. We'll have a look at your alignment in a minute. Very often your legs are just balancing up what's happening with the upper body. So when we have a look at the overhead shot, there is still some tendency to cross over going on there, and you get a little bit out of shape. So your legs are just simply balancing up what's happening there. So what I'm really looking at here is you're looking a long way down, which is actually pulling. If you look too far down, it actually pulls the upper body here a little bit deep in the water. All right. We know that the recovering arm on that side is not too bad, but because you're looking so far down, it's just pulling the whole stroke down a little bit. So ideally, as you said, your goggle line would be more like that rather than where it is there, which is straight down. And that would just be enough to get the top of the head just out of the water and just give you a little bit of extra height at the front end there. So if we just have a look at that recovery here. So the hand has come in. At the moment, you're flat in the water, so there's no rotation there whatsoever. Okay. So at that point, what you're doing, it might be quite difficult to see here, but what I'm seeing is, it's the best way of kind of demonstrating this, is you kind of got a rotation across the shoulders, across the chest there, but you've got no extension forward. All right. So you're rotating but pushing down rather than rotating, extending forward.
Yeah.
So if I show you, and that was one of the first things that struck me when I saw you swim, is it's very common. I've got a lot of people in the sport at the moment who swim like that. Quite a high turnover, but they're push down, rather than extending and getting the elbow up and pushing backwards. So again, just for visualization purposes, show you, and no doubt you'll have watched this a million times before, John Van Hazel. So his recovering arm will spear in. He can get away with actually having quite a shallow entry because he's super flexible. So he can extend forward and still get the elbow up without having to push down. So he's speared in, he's flat at the moment, and then he extends forward. That rotation just sends that hand a little bit further forward. And then you can't see it from above here, but you've got the bend in the elbow, it's starting to pull back through, making that hand, turning that hand into a nice paddle. So yeah, just pushing down on the stroke.
Yeah, that's the other thing that said, the leaf effect. My hand goes forward. Not so much on this one, is it? I don't know. Let's see if we do it again. Hand goes, yeah, it's like that, and then at the bottom, sometimes it goes that. It goes like that.
Yeah. We'll have another look for a better angle in a second. But the overall,
I've been working quite hard on.
Yeah, so we can see you. You're definitely focusing on getting that wrist down, and then as soon as that wrist goes, it starts to engage the hand.
Yeah.
It starts to engage the catch, get the elbow up high, and that is nice. That is nice, but you just need to extend your shoulders forward, and just give you that extra little bit of reach, because that's happening, but it's happening quite low, quite late, and quite low beneath you, rather than happening out front. And again, if I show you, just to kind of just to emphasise it, Rebecca Adlington. So as I show you this better angle here, which comes back this way. So the engagement of that catch is quite a long way out front, whereas yours, you're probably not actually starting to actually take hold of any water until we're quite a long way down through this cycle here.
Yeah.
Whereas Rebecca's is more out at this point here. So it's a little bit of difference, but what it does is it means you lose a little bit of support at the front end of the stroke, which kind of throws the timing out a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look from, just play this through actually, just let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so show you from above here. Let's get it above here. So that's actually not too bad. It's nice and reasonably straight here, because obviously what we're looking for is for us to be swimming up along the tram lines almost. Yeah, and if anything, that hand, it may be related to the breathing here, is going a little bit early.
Sorry, which hand?
This arm here
Yeah.
is going a little bit early.
Yeah.
So there should always be a hand in front of the head here. And at that point, there's nothing, which means you lose a bit of support at the front end of the stroke. And again, that's related to not extending forward. And by the time the recovering arm comes over the top, this has already gone underneath the body. So we're going to start stretching you out today. Stretching you out and really work on extending forward and getting that elbow up nice and high. Getting a nice early vertical forearm, we call it. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's spearing in front of the shoulder.
The right hand elbow seems to drop more than the left hand elbow.
Yeah. You know, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. For me, all that's missing is that little bit of rotation at the front of the stroke. You're fairly straight here, so your arms are entering in front of the shoulder look, and they're not coming towards the centre line. What I could see is the almost twisting of the body here, and that's what makes it look like you're crossing over, because this arm recovers over the top, and what you end up with here is a kind of almost a bend in the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just balancing up this.
Yeah.
So again, if we straighten you up, get you to extend the front of the stroke, combined with head position in breathing,
yeah,
because you're spending quite a long time breathing there.
Yeah.
Which is another reason.
Because I'm not breathing out underwater.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looking like at the moment it's kind of some of the things are the basics that you've probably worked on in the past, but just getting you to swim relaxed, making sure you're exhaling, and just really, with the fins on, getting you to extend out in front of the stroke and really stretch things out a little bit. It's a little bit short and snappy, with not enough extension, and that combined with the holding the breath, as you were just doing just today, is throwing the timing out, making it look worse than it is. It's just a case of just relaxing a little bit, focusing on the breathing, and then just putting it all back together. But the stroke rate is fine. You're extending forward in front of the shoulders, fairly straight. I'm not too concerned about the legs. Yeah, we could do a bit of kick tune-up in terms of just getting you to focus on pointing the toes a little bit more. I'm not too concerned about that, because I'm pretty sure that once we start to sort out what's happening up here, that will all straighten out. That will all straighten out. see what else we've got on here. Yeah, you do kick a little bit from the knee, but again, we've got other things. We've got a big fish to fry at the moment, and yeah. See, it may well be that you've been advised to kind of spear in and get quite deep quite early with your hand here. But what that's doing is it's taking away.
Yeah, but I'm not doing what they said. They said instead of going in there,
Yeah.
to go in here and to go in at a more acute angle.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a little bit of what you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're spearing in and then pulling down straight with a fairly straight hand here. So the angle here should be kind of 100 to 120 degrees.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's pretty straight. But again, that's all related to extending forward and really focusing on getting that elbow up high. It's all related to the same stuff. So on the right hand side, spearing in. Yeah, and same thing. No, not a huge amount of extension there. That's not too bad in terms of the angle of the arm here. Okay, is it what you thought you were going to see?
All of the bolts are familiar. And,
Yep.
Yeah, I think we can work on this and we can get it.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do? We are going to spend some time just. I'm sure you've done them in the past. Just a few sink downs, just to get you used to exhaling again. We're going to get you some fins on, and you're going to get you swimming some lengths, breathing out, bubble, bubble, breathe, and just see if we can tweak your head position. So breathing out, head position to start.
Yeah.
All right. We're then going to rattle through these drills because, again, you'll have done these with the other guys, kicking on the side. And that's really to focus on getting you really stretched out. You can continue to focus on your breathing out, your exhaling under the water here as well. And that is really, we're just doing this more as a stepping stone to the 616 to 636 drills. So kicking on the side, so completely on your side, shoulder blades back, chest out, with this lead hand and this position here with the wrist tipped down. And then what I really want to get to today with you is the javelin drill, which is I think where you're going to really kind of feel the difference. Have you done the javelin drill before? Yeah. Okay. Now the javelin drill is one of these drills which is, you can think you're doing it correctly, but it's not until you get some feedback on it.
No, I'm thinking of, what's the one where you go like that?
Broken arrow.
Broken arrow.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm really interested in terms of the javelin drill. The javelin drill ultimately is kicking on the side.
Yeah.
With the pointy paddle on. Have you got pointy paddles?
No.
Okay. So
I'm not
I'll
allowed to use anything.
Okay.
Not
All right.
allowed to use fins. Not allowed to use paddles.
Well, you come to the squad, we'll sort that out. That's the beauty of the squad. So the pointy paddles, the freestyler paddles got a little keel on it.
Yeah.
So you will feel when you spear in cleanly and extend forward because the paddle will stay in the right position on your hand. It's only held on with a single strap. If you get it wrong, you'll know it's wrong and it'll feel wrong. So you'll get to know what the correct position to be in is. So the first half of it is kicking on the side with the freestyler paddle on the lead hand. But what I'm really interested in for you is eventually you'll start taking a stroke. Here we go. So taking a stroke, breathing away from the paddle, and see his hand underneath the water there. So you extend forward, and then tip the wrist, and then pull through with a nice high elbow as cleanly as we can. And again, you'll detect whether it's clean using that paddle. You can just see it underneath the water. That's what we want from you. Nice and straight, get that elbow up high, and engage in the catch, but staying in alignment when you do so. And there we can see, look, both hands in front of the head there.
Yeah.
So we're extending it, stretching it all out. And I think that's the one drill of all the things we're going to do today. The other drills are going to get us to that point where we can do that. So kicking on the side, 6-1-6, and like they're going to build up to this point. And I think that's where we're going to make the most inroads today. And I'm convinced that once we sort those three things out, so breathing, head position, and the extension, the alignment, back end will sort itself out. And you'll be sitting higher in the water as well. Okay?
Yep.
Any questions?
Nope.
No? Should we get on with it?
Yep.
All right.